What's up, Ego Hackers? Welcome to the C.S. Joseph Podcast. Tonight's episode, we're going to be discussing INTPs. So how does an INTP deal with having chronic anxiety? Well, let's actually explore why they're having, what would be causing anxiety for a typical INTP? What exactly would that look like? Why does it happen? Well, it stems from their expert feeling inferior, naturally, because they're afraid of people not accepting them. They're afraid of people not liking them. They're afraid of people not basically wanting to be around them enough to even ask them for help. They're afraid of people not looping them into certain situations, especially social situations. They're also afraid of committing social faux pas and just being socially awkward, etc., which they are, especially when you combine expert sensing trickster. It's like they have like a double helping of fear and anxiety in that area, because guess what? INTPs are they're just not that capable in that area. That sucks. I don't envy them. I don't envy this problem that they have. And it can be insanely stifling. This anxiety is so stifling that they can end up not actually growing as people. And that could suck. That would really suck for them. Really, really suck. And it's like, wow, then they're stagnated. They're not getting anywhere in life. They're not even, they're no closer to being happy. And so they end up oftentimes just being entirely hedonistic or servile as a result. Servile meaning it's like, well, I guess my only purpose here is to just serve. Or, well, I guess my only purpose in life is just consume, basically. And they double down on that gluttony. They double down on hedonism. And it's just like, wow, that's all life is. You just want to just sit around, play video games, do drugs, hang out in Discord all day long. Great. Great. So what do they do? What do they do about that chronic anxiety? Well, let's look at what anxiety does to people. What is it for? What if anxiety is a survival instinct? What if it's a warning? A warning from your superego trying to tell you to get off your ass and actually do something with your life. Maybe it's just a call to action. What about that? Have you considered that? Have you considered that it's nothing more than a call to action? Have you? Because here's the thing, in order for people to like you, they kind of first want to, desire you. How can anyone like you if people don't even want you to begin with? See, you're kind of like INTPs, you got to see yourselves like this ocean, But oceans are dark. They're cold. They're deep. They're really scary. There could be a giant sea monster inside. The pressure could be so much that people die, people drown. They'll drown in your ocean, right? Your NTP ocean. I have an NTP ocean because I am an NTP. I know what it's like. I know what it's all about, right? So, in that particular situation, what's a person to do? Here's the thing, that's why NTJs exist, for example. NTJs, even NFJs or NJs in general, but especially NTJs, and in some cases SFPs, them wayfarers really like treasure. They love them some treasure. But here's the thing. If they're going to take the risk, with their NI, because introvert intuition, the function of desire, the function of want, they're going to want you. If they're going to want to penetrate your ocean, your deep ocean, what are they going to find in there? Are they going to find a shipwreck of a tortured soul within? But within that shipwreck, are they going to find a huge mother lode of treasure? Are they going to find that treasure? Is there something worth? You're a Tootsie Pop, right? How many licks to get to the Gucci center, right? Do you have anything even at the center? Do you have anything nice and soft and wonderful at the center? Do you? Or are you just nothing but hard candy, where you lick and you lick and you lick, there's nothing left but a stick? You know what I'm saying? Where's the Tootsie Pop? You know, where's the Tootsie Roll at the center? Where is it? Well, most INTPs out there, especially INTP men, really isn't anything at the Gucci center. At least women have the advantage of being women, at least, because they are born with value, you know, biological value. But men, they ain't born with that value. They have to spend their whole life building value. It's because cursed is the ground because of you, and by the sweat of your brow, you will eat of it for the rest of your life, and then you will die. This is known as the male burden of performance. But if you're not taking and facing that burden head on, and going out of your way to put an effort in your life, there's no treasure. There's no experience. And that experience, that introverted sensing, that's the treasure. And the ocean is your dark abyss, that extroverted intuition abyss, right? Because that's what the abyss is. It's extroverted intuition. It is pure chaos. The chaos of the ocean. The chaos of the maelstrom. So, if an NJ is going to come along and try to traverse the deep, traverse your depths, the depths of your soul, INTPs, there's got to be some treasure worth finding in there, right? So there better be a mother lode at the bottom of that ocean for them to find. Maybe it's the Titanic, I don't know. Maybe it's a Spanish galleon full of gold, I don't know. But whatever it is, that introverted sensing shipwreck better be some super valuable, unique life experience that only you have had. Something that you have gained as a result of going out of your way to explore in life. You know, your cognitive origin, the origin of discovery that makes you a great explorer. And what exactly have you, the INTP, explored, right? What life experience do you have to offer? What effort have you actually put in your life to invest in yourself? This is, after all, the test of the demon, introverted feeling demon. Have you reached a high enough level of self-acceptance instead of relying on other people as your source of acceptance? Because here's the thing, people will always let you down. People will not always be there for you. Even if it's your lover, even if it's your children, even if it's your nuclear family that supposedly was there for you in your childhood, or maybe you don't even have a family, maybe you're an orphan. Maybe you learned really early in your life that people are not really ever actually going to be there for you. So what business do you have as an INTP putting other people on a pedestal and relying on them as your source of acceptance? Maybe you should learn how to accept yourself regardless of how anyone else feels about you. This is, after all, what introverted feeling demon is trying to teach you, so that it can go angelic mode. Angelic when you finally get to the point in your life where you're accepting yourself. But that's not good enough. That's only part of the equation. You gotta do the rest. Which is, you gotta be willing to put in the effort. Put in the effort. Get off your ass. No one is desirable without effort. You want to supercharge your extrovert intuition, parent? You want to become a responsible human being? Then get out of your comfort zone and actually put in effort in your life. Put your attention on the right things. Stop wasting your time, effort, attention, and resources on all these OnlyFans girls. You know what I'm saying? Where you're giving your attention away like it's just some, valueless, worthless little currency that these women can get from any other simp on the internet. Just stop. Stop simping. Stop simping for women. Stop simping for churches. Stop simping for stupid people. Stop simping for, some of the most worthless situations and things in your life. Simping for your waifu, right? Simping for a culture that isn't even yours. Simping for anime, right? Because you're hedonistic or you're gluttonous, right? Why don't you just let go of that? Why don't you just actually put an effort into yourself? And because you've reached self-acceptance, invest in yourself and make yourself better. That way you're actually desirable. Because here's the thing. The reason why you're so anxious is because you know You know there isn't actually anything at the bottom of that ocean. You know that. There's no one there at the bottom of the ocean. There's nothing there. There ain't no shipwreck. There ain't no treasure. There ain't no mother lode. No wayfarer is going to be wanting to go dive to the bottom of your depths to see what they can find. Because, there needs to be a map. X marks the spot. But there ain't going to be no map. There ain't going to be no X marks the spot because you didn't even get off your ass to get off your couch or to get off the internet and go actually see what's out there. You're too busy waiting around for the metaverse. You're too busy waiting around for the internet, your God, your idol, the Tower of Babel itself to save you. When in reality, you just have to get out of your own home, get out of your hole, get out of your cave, Why else do you think Plato wrote the allegory of the cave? Plato and INFJ and NJ who might be willing to traverse the depths of your soul looking for treasure when he knows you're stuck in the cave. And you're not willing to go out in the cave and face your fears. That's why you're anxious. Because your mind is telling you you're afraid. You're too scared. You're too scared to go out there and put in some real effort. To put in a real hard day's work. To actually make yourself into something. Something that someone would actually desire. A person of substance. A person who is actually a hidden, buried treasure. Something those wayfarers desperately desire when it comes to having a relationship with an INTP. So what are you doing? That's my question. What are you doing? What effort are you putting in? If you're not willing to put in the effort, well, then you're just going to be polluted. Instead of being that buried treasure in the ocean, you're going to fill that ocean with garbage. And it's going to become a deadly, poisonous mire with no life in it because you're not living life. And this is where you become toxic. Toxic to everyone around you, a burden to everyone around you because you won't put in the effort. It's so ridiculous, right? It's said that the ocean consumes many a ship and has consumed many a treasure in its time when it turns into a maelstrom dealing with the storm of life. And it consumes many a treasure, consumes many a ship. But no ship would dare sail you because you're poisoned. Because it's a poisoned ocean. Because there's no life in it. Because you've stagnated. Like when a river stops flowing, everything in it and around it dies. There is no life. And that's why you're afraid. That's why you're anxious. Because you're too busy running away from your problems. Too busy running from the fact that you're weak. Running from the fact that now you're not willing to leave your cave and be in the hot sun of life. You see these other men out there who are in the hot sun. Who have exposed themselves. Who have burning before the light of the sun. But then all of a sudden, after a while, they got a thick skin. They can take it, but for some reason you can't take it because you're too scared. And that's really the anxiety. Fear begets fear. Anxiety begets anxiety. Until you're willing to face your anxiety head on. Just like that one NTP, Ryan Holiday, he wrote a book. It's called The Obstacle is the Way. This is how you solve that problem. This is how you solve that anxiety. If you have anxiety in your life, good. Because that's the obstacle. And that is the torch that is in front of you to light the path that you need to walk. If you have an obstacle, if you're weak, if you're obese, guess what? Go to the gym. If you're poor, guess what? Get a job. If you're unhappy at your job, guess what? Become an entrepreneur. Good. All of these opportunities are in front of you, and the obstacle is the way. You're looking for someone to be willing to traverse your depths, to actually find the buried treasure within. Why don't you go out of your way to be like any ocean out there, an ocean of life, and fill your ocean with treasure. Fill your ocean and consume those ships so that there's so much buried treasure within that people are lining up ready to pierce your depths. That way, all of a sudden you got people who want you. All of a sudden you got people who accept you. All of a sudden, you're not afraid anymore. because you chose to face your anxiety. You chose the obstacle, for the obstacle is the way. That is, after all, how you become happy as an INTP. Are you willing to go that far? Or are you just going to be like the rest of them? The rest of them that are rotting away in their rotten ocean. An ocean that is to be avoided instead of an ocean that is to be mapped, traversed, discovered. So that's the thing. Wayfarers, they want them their buried treasure. You're supposed to be this person of exploration. You're supposed to be this person of discovery. Why aren't you going out there discovering and then filling your ocean with these discoveries? Why aren't you doing that? Because that's your true treasure. That's your introverted sensing. So the bottom line is, you want to get over your anxiety? Put in more effort. And I promise you, you'll be successful. Anyway, folks, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.